You want to win your fantasy matchup this week, right? Here are the waiver wire targets you need to focus on for week 16 of the NBA season. From the Memphis Grizzlies, Brandon Clark. He's just rostered in 51.7% of ESPN leagues, 67% of Yahoo leagues. What's happened is Steve Adams is out, and I think he's going to be out for a number of weeks. I think 3 to 5 weeks. Any way you look at it, your man Brandon Clark passes the eye test. When I've watched him over the years, when he gets playing time, he performs. He gets you the rebounding stats. He gets you some defensive stats. I just think he can be a valid contributor if given the opportunity. In the last 7 days, he has put up 11 points per game, 5.8 rebounds, 1.8 assists, and 1.3 steals. Make sure you get yourself some Brandon Clark. I don't believe I'm about to say the next player, but I have to. Precious Achiuwa from the Toronto Raptors. Precious has never been impressive, right? He's like consistently been a waiver wire guy. And I would even go as far as saying a waiver wire guy that you kind of look over. But recently, he's been on a roll. He's just rostered in 47% of Yahoo leagues and 9% of ESPN leagues. So he's available in a lot of spots. He has, in the last 7 days, averaged 18.8 points per game, 10 rebounds per game. So he's averaging a double-double, y'all, and 0.8 assists and 1.3 steals. What do you got to lose? Give him a chance this week, and if he works out, maybe you hold him for a couple more weeks, and who knows, he might turn out to be a diamond in the rough. A Precious. Another player that I didn't imagine I would be speaking about in this show, Chris Duarte. Chris Duarte is just rostered in 36% of Yahoo leagues. In the last 7 days, he's been putting up threes like crazy. So 2 threes per game, 14.7 points per game, 5 rebounds per game, 4.7 assists, and 2.7 steals. Listen, Chris Duarte is taking advantage of the fact that Tyrese Halliburton is out. Although TJ McConnell has been putting up tons of numbers, their backcourt has kind of been moving around a little bit, and certain people are getting opportunities. Like Nimhard has been putting up some numbers too. I think that this might not be sustainable, but it's worth a check for this week to see how he can do, moving forward. It's worth noting that Tyrese Halliburton is going to be coming back pretty soon, hopefully. So when that happens, I imagine Chris Duarte's value is going to go kaput. I just want to quickly fire off a few guys that should be on rosters, like must roster fantasy players who are like on the waiver wire in certain leagues. The first guy is Walker Kessler. You got to put Walker Kessler on your team. We've talked about him all season. I probably did 4 or 5 different episodes about him already. Get yourself some Walker Kessler. Next up is Jalen Duren from the Detroit Pistons. Another big man, tons of value. He's somebody that has limitless upside. There's no telling what he's going to look like by the time you get to your fantasy playoffs. So if you grab him now, if he's still available, grab him now and get him on your team. And also the last two, Daniel Gafford and Mason Plumlee. Again, 2 big men that could provide you some value for your fantasy team. By the way, I'm Robin Marks from Game Pick Fantasy Basketball. You can connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Game Pick Podcast. If you love fantasy sports, please consider subscribing, give this episode a like, and hit the bell to turn on notifications so you don't miss any of these fantasy gems. We release new episodes every single week. Next up, we're going to talk about our buy lows and our sell highs. My first buy low is Ben Simmons. People are out on Ben Simmons. They're willing to trade him for peanuts right now, y'all. And I'm telling you, I'm watching the guy. Something's going on. He's afraid to shoot the basketball. However, he still puts up tons of stats in other categories. So if you can take advantage of an owner who's frustrated, especially if he has another bad game, see if you can buy low for Ben Simmons. My next buy low is Andrew Wiggins. Over the last couple of weeks, he came back from an injury. He just has not been performing on the level that we expect from him. He's the type of player that can pick it up during your fantasy playoffs. So this might be an opportunity, if you buy low on him, that the return on your investment will pay off later on in the season. I know I might sound like a broken record, but my injury buy low of the week is yet again Carl Anthony Towns. I had one of our members send me a message on Instagram, I believe, maybe it was in our Discord, and he asked me, hey, there's no timetable for return for Cat. What do I do? So listen, I could understand your frustration. But the fact of the matter is, if you trade away Cat right now, the value that you're going to get back is going to be pennies based on what you've invested. So you just got to tough it out. Now, for the players out there who have people in their leagues who have that kind of, I'm about to drop him energy, you want to see if you could send some low ball offers over to their office to see if you could bring back Cat at a discount. Now, again, if you own Cat right now, if you have him on your roster, don't drop him. Hold him, be patient. But if you have somebody in your league who is having doubts, this will be the time to take advantage of it and buy low. I only have one sell high this week, TJ McConnell. If you go to TJ McConnell's stats over the last couple of weeks with Tyrese Halliburton out, it will blow your mind. Your man is performing at an elite level. However, Tyrese Halliburton is nearing a return, guys. It's gonna happen. At least I hope it happens, right? So when Tyrese Halliburton comes back, TJ McConnell's value is gonna go into the toilet. So this is the time to sell high on TJ McConnell. See if you can get back some kind of value for him. Whatever you do, send out some offers over the next couple of days to see if you can get a return on that, that gem that you grabbed off of the waiver wire. I want to take a quick second to talk about today's sponsor, Jock Market. Jock Market is a revolutionary daily fantasy platform that turns sports into a stock market. Jock Market, that's JOCKMKT, offers live daily markets for sports that let you buy and sell shares of fantasy athletes in real time with other users, all for real money. And each share has a guaranteed payout at the end of the night. And if you're in the off season of your favorite sport, no worries. You can use Jock Market for NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, PGA, and even NASCAR. Download the Jock Market app on Android or iOS and use the promo code GAMEPICK to receive a 100% deposit match up to $100. One more thing, your first market will be risk-free with losses refunded up to $100. You literally have nothing to lose. To learn more, visit jockmarket.com and don't forget to use the promo code GAMEPICK. Next up is our Discord Q&A. To join our free private Discord of over 1,400 fantasy basketball fanatics, all you have to do is hit the link in the description of this episode. The first question is from Halal Snack Pack. He says, is it worth trading high caliber players who play more games during fantasy playoffs? Jokic plays 16 games, Embiid has 19. Should I trade Jokic for Embiid? That's a great question. So really quick, yes, if one player has more games than the other, it's worth noting, but you have to know that not all games are created equal. Now, what do I mean? They're high quality games and they're low quality games. A high quality game is a game playing on a night when there are not so many games, maybe 8, 7, 6 games going on. But if you have over 10, 11 games playing, that's a low quality game because chances are you're going to have to bench certain people. So for me, it's a good question because do I want more of Embiid regardless of the quality of the games, or do I want to have, Jokic playing high quality games? So it really depends on where you stand, looking around your league. And also you don't want to set somebody up for success by trading away your best player. So for me, just a short answer, I'm going to say it is worth targeting them, but you have to be mindful of the quality of the games. And in terms of your trade, I would hold Joker. I'm not trading Joker for Embiid regardless of the playoff schedule. The next question is from O-Dog. He says, what do I do with Scotty Barnes? Very simple question with a very simple answer. You hold. And if you want to move him, then you can sell high when he has a good run. Over the last month, he's been pretty good. He's averaged 17.8 points per game, 7.3 rebounds, 5.5 assists, 1.3 steals, and 1.3 blocks. So he's putting up some numbers. So if you have concerns about him, maybe you had higher expectations for him, that's understandable. But he seems to be contributing in a lot of fantasy categories. So I would hold Scotty. If you want to move him, sell high before your trade deadline. If he doesn't have a spike before then, I would just hold him going into the fantasy playoffs. If you need help with your fantasy team, please drop your questions in the comment section. I will respond to every single comment. Scout's honor. If you want to learn about our proven strategy for executing fantasy sports trades, please check out the next video that pops up on your screen. And don't forget, play the waivers, set your lineups, and follow Game Pick, your frickin' fantasy nerd.